Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Dagger, aka Red Roll. How y'all doing out there, man? And today we're talking about Phoenix, my American debut album. How did it do? Did it flop? Did it change anything? All that and more right here, next on White Tip.
Every artist have a story, whether you're the smallest artist or the biggest artist. What will define you is your preparation. The great Nipsey Hussle once said, luck is just being prepared at all times, so when the door opens, you're ready. This is my journey. You think I'm playing?
Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Dagger, aka Red Roll. Welcome back to my channel. My channel is called White Tip, which stands for You Think I'm Playing. I am an artist, a producer, an entrepreneur, a creator. Today on White Tip, we're talking Phoenix. I like to say it's my American debut album, because I was making music long before I came here to America. I was an artist in the Caribbean doing my thing. I created quite a buzz back home of my native island where I'm from. I had things going on, and I left my island back in 2019 and decided to not go back there. Not forever, but at the time, I decided not to go back there. And when I left the islands, I had nothing. You know what I mean? I came here with nothing. You know what I'm saying? All I had was the clothes that I brought here with me. I literally started from scratch. Had nothing. Had no studio equipment. Had literally nothing. I was at zero. So the thing is, when I left my island, being somebody, being known around my island, from the time I left that little environment and I came out to this big country, I instantly became a nobody. I was literally starting from scratch, nothing, zero, zip. If you was following my channel from a couple of years ago, if you've been an early subscriber, thank you. If you've been an early subscriber, you would know a little bit about my journey, where I came from, how I got here, how I got to this point. So I'm saying all this, to talk about the album. I literally started thinking about making music again. I didn't make music for about 2 years. Once I got here, with nothing, I don't know nobody, basically, and we were starting off in a whole new state, a whole new city. My wife and me, we literally knew nobody in that city, so we went there and we just started from scratch. And I was just trying to figure out, what am I gonna do, man? I have to do something. I started thinking about how am I gonna approach doing music while I'm here now, and nobody knows me. I'm damn near 40 years old.
Oh, damn.
Nobody know of me. So I'm figuring it out. The one thing that stuck with me was,
you gotta start producing your own records.
And these thoughts really came around when the pandemic had hit and nobody could work with anybody. Nobody could go nowhere, nobody could go to no studio nowhere. People just had to figure out things on their own. And that's when I really started processing the thoughts. And during that time, I started really experimenting with production, but I was only taking loops and putting them together. I would take a drum loop, some keyboard loops, some lead or something, and I would just put them together. And I started figuring it out slowly, how to really put music together, like a beat. You know what I mean? Because at this time, I didn't know how to do it. I would always have a producer friend. I would always know somebody that would produce music, who would put the music together for me. I sent a few of the tracks to a good friend of mine, a buddy of mine. We produced music together in the early 2000s and stuff. I sent them to him and he was like, man, these sound kind of cool, man. These sound kind of cool. Did you make these yourself? And I was like, yeah, I made them myself. I even made songs, actual songs with them. I never put the songs out or nothing, but I have them there for reference. And I was just trying to figure things out. I'm just coming from zero, mind you. I don't know nobody. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure things out. I started thinking about, what can I do? I started doing this. Not even this. I just tried to figure this out because it took me years to actually get to this point. But when we finally did that whole year down there and we came back up to the north, because we was down south when we first came here to America, we was down south, was in Louisiana. And we came back up north to New York, where my wife originally lives. and I started really just kind of just building things, you know. I started figuring things out, started buying little equipment. Man, if you watch my videos from before, you'd really see the growth. So I started buying these little equipment. When I finally got to that point, I was like, I think I'm getting the hang of this production thing, because I really was going in on it. I got me a little MPC controller. I started really going deep in it. I got a couple more pieces for I started building my studio. And then when I finally got to that point where this might be the time, because the universe was telling me this is the time to go in on it. And I'm like trying to figure out, like, does this even make sense? Does it even make sense to even go do some stuff like this? Like, you know, I'm a guy who's like damn near 40 years old.
Oh, damn.
At the time, I'm over 40 now.
Oh, damn.
But like, I was like, does this even make sense? Like, nobody knows me, like, as an artist. This is like, nobody's asking me for music. Nobody's asking me, yo, when you go put a project? Nobody's asking for this. Like, why would I even want to go do this? But I was like, man, the universe is telling me to do it. I'm just gonna go do it.
This needs to stop now.
I just started working it piece by piece. Every time I would make a beat, I would just like try to figure out a song with it. I hit up a friend. I would be like, yo, what kind of project you think is cool to make right now? Same guy that I used to work with from back in the day. I mean, he's a great producer. He doesn't make beats as much now, but he's a great producer. You know, I like to ask him reference to hear what he has to say, what his ear is saying. And he was like, man, I'm so far at the music game right now, like, because he was making music back in the early and mid 2000s. And he was like, man, I'm so far at the game right now, I didn't even know what to make. I was like, man, wow, you know, how am I gonna approach this? What am I gonna do? I just basically just went with my heart. My heart told me, write these type of songs, write these type of like records, make these type of beats. And I just went with that, and it felt good. I got in and I started making the songs, started making connections with people who I wanted to collaborate with. Like, it did cost quite a bit of money, in my opinion, because I had to pay for people's studio time and stuff to get them to record their parts and stuff like that. So the money that I was invested in it, I'm not gonna make that back right now, but you know, I don't care. I followed my heart. It was an act of love. And I think it made a little bit of sense in doing it. It really helped me to realize like where to go next with music, because at that time I would have quit. I was gonna just put that behind me and be like, man, I gotta go find something else to do. But just because I did that, that really opened up new doors for me and made me realize, man, you don't gotta quit. Now you can make your own music and carry on, even when nobody wants to hear it or listen to it. You'll still find a joy in making it and having it. And eventually, if somebody want to listen to it, you can give it to them. So I do feel like it made sense in that way, where I was following my heart and I did something that my heart told me to do. Did it change anything in terms of like artist-wise? No, it didn't change anything artist-wise, because like, I wouldn't say like I got a bunch of calls and I went on the road to like perform and all that stuff, perform the records, which I wanted to do, but there was a problem with it. The same time when I put my album out, my son was born. My son was born, so it was like two things. It was like, you're putting an album out and your son's born. Now what you gonna choose to do? Go on the road to promote the album and try to make links, or stay with your little son who was just born and you want to be there to enjoy? I would never ever give up those moments for anything. So that was not a question. So that instantly blocked me from actually going out on the road and promoting the album. And you know, that was, you know, one of the things that I should have done. Was it a flop? I wouldn't say it was a flop, because you're only a flop when you're like a big famous artist. I am a nobody. I am literally an unknown person. Like, it was not a flop in my opinion. Like, if you go on if you go on YouTube, you can see the amount of numbers that is there for that who's actually listening to the project. This one song, By Land, has over 2,000 streams, and other songs have like 1K stream and 500. And overall, I think on YouTube it's about maybe 10K streams. So thank you for listening on YouTube. Honestly, when I check my DistroKid, the money that I'm making is from YouTube. and it's not a lot of money. It's like very small money, but it's better than nothing. It's like at least I have something that's streaming every day that's actually bringing in like 1 cent, 1 cent every week or something. I don't know what those numbers are. Streaming is all messed up, but like at least I have something that's streaming all the time, and it's actually bringing in some kind of revenue, even if it's the smallest amount of revenue. So I would say that the album was a success for me, from my end. Like when I go on YouTube and I see the amount of time those songs are streamed from an unknown artist that nobody ever know about, like I'm surprised, to be honest with you. I am surprised. So I want to thank you for checking it out on YouTube. If you haven't checked it out on YouTube yet, if you haven't checked out my album Phoenix, which is all produced by me, these hands, produced by these hands, I'm gonna drop a link below. You can check it out on your favorite streaming platform, whatever platform you're on, Spotify, iTunes, whatever you're on. You can check it out. I'm gonna drop a link below. You can check that out. But it was a good thing, and I am willing to work on some more music when I have the time. I want to definitely put something else together. This one was hard, and the other one is still hard. It's still expensive. Hopefully things will change up in the next couple of months, financially and everything, and hopefully I'll be able to go into doing another one, which I'm looking forward to, which is going to be beautiful, because I've gotten better at production, I've gotten better at mixing and all that stuff. So the next one will be even better. But if you want to check it out, I'm going to drop a link below, and you can check out my album Phoenix, which is out right now on all streaming platforms. I want to thank you for tuning in today, and hope you have a great weekend, man. It's Dagger, aka Red Robe, and we out.
How am I to get a job and they keep telling me no vacancy? No vacancy. Filling applications ain't never did a thing for me.